Hey, this is Steve back here with you again with an addendum to the prelude video that you just watched. When I created that video several months ago, that was our initial plan and method for rolling out TLB to everyone. But since then, things have changed a bit. We've adapted a few things, and I needed to let you guys know what the updates are so you can tell what the difference between that video and what we currently are doing. It's very minor, nothing major. There is no bait and switch here. It's just to make sure everybody's on the same page so they understand how it differs from when we first created that video. So the first thing to kind of talk about is that in the other video I mentioned Q&A webinars, and we tried that method and it didn't quite work the way we wanted it or expected it to. So we've adapted that to what we call weekly Q&A sessions, and what that means is as we mentioned in the top of the prelude, you need to read through the lesson, you need to read the facts, basically check all the places and the comments for getting your question answered. And if it isn't answered, then you'll submit it to us, and Andre and I on a weekly basis will answer those questions for you, and then update the frequently asked questions and provide that recording so that it can be downloaded. That way it provides an ongoing feedback loop for you guys to have your questions answered without us having to monitor, thousands of comments across all the lessons. So this is the best solution that we were able to come up with. And as you move through the different lessons, if you're on lesson 5 or week 5 or week 10 and you have a question about lesson 1, you can still go back and list that. Just make sure, like we said, that you've checked all the resources so that somebody else hasn't already asked it, because as more people get into the TLB, the likelihood that the question has already been asked will increase drastically, and all the information should be there. That's what we're trying to create, is a way that you guys will have all the info right there and have the questions. But of course, if there's additional questions, list them, send them to us, and we will get those answered for you. The other thing in the initial video talked about month-by-month content releasing. We thought we were going to do that originally, but as you now know, it's on a weekly basis. You will get new content every week, and we did it this way so that you can take the small piece and digest it. Even if it takes you more than a week to do it, it's a lot easier to get it in chunks where you can work on it than one big, huge amount of content for the month and try to get through it. It's a little bit more digestible. So that's a little bit different. What we called the quick start guides in the other one, that was the term we used. What it is now is the process maps and checklist. It's the very same stuff. It's just not called the quick start guide. So I wanted to clarify that so you guys weren't looking for that and wanting to know where it's at. It's the process maps and checklist that you'll have on every lesson. And then the last one is, as I mentioned again, make sure at the top, and let me just go through it here again with you, you want to read the entire lesson and the comments that are on each lesson, and then go ahead and apply that week's lesson that you're working on. But the comments below the lessons are closed now, and again, that's because Andre and I can't, as we put in more people, we don't have the bandwidth and the ability to answer the comments all the time. We did the first 200 that way so that we could gauge and get response on how things were working and what we needed to improve, and all that information is still there for you to read. But if you have questions, again, read the lesson, read the comments, then check the FAQs for the lesson first, and if it's not there, send the question and we'll get it answered for you. Okay, so that's really all there is to the changes. Nothing big, just the way that we're answering questions. The quick start guides are now your process maps and checklists, and you're getting weekly content. So everything else is still the same. Again, there's no bait and switch here. There's nothing changing. It's just a different way of how we're delivering and dealing with the support and what we're calling things. So again, if you have any questions, you know what to do now, and we wish you luck, and we'll talk to you soon.